All right, let's just see if everything's working. Just start with the tech stuff as it loads up. Okay, so I always start with who I am. So I'm Jess and my Facebook page is in Alchemist. And I just start with the tech stuff as well. So if you're having troubles with things dropping out, then please just refresh your page. I'll be trying next week a program called StreamYard, I think it's called, which might stop from me having issues. Hi, Sophie. Hi, Samantha. It's great to see you both. And where are you from? So just to allow yourselves, if there's any kind of breaking up, then please refresh because everything seems to work fine on my side. It's the viewers that have a few issues now and then. So I'm just going to try and work on that for next week. Also, hi Kerry, it's lovely to see you. So I'll be trying to fix that, so in the future we won't have any problems. Like normal, we will do a little bit of a discussion about archetypes so that you've got an idea of what I do and why I do it, and then we'll move into some readings after that. So, oh, still locked down in Melbourne, Samantha. Hi Claire, greetings, Rhoda, hello. So I wanted to talk about the lover and the prostitute archetypes today. And I wanted to do that because there's something that actually has been going on with a friend of mine, and it's really quite predominant in my field at the moment, with it also coming up with a couple of clients. So, according to Caroline Misses, actually, I always say that wrong, it's Caroline Myss, Myss. And according to her archetypes, she has the 4 survival archetypes, which is the child, the victim, the saboteur, and the prostitute. And everybody on the planet has these 4 archetypes because we need them in order to survive our childhood, survive social interactions, survive our things that happen to us as an adult. So the reason I wanted to talk about the prostitute one is because it's very misunderstood. People tend to think, oh, it's just, literally sex based and or about our sexuality and different things. But it's actually when we start to prostitute our values, our morals, our sense of self. It's the people who are always giving, the people pleasers, I call them poly pleasers. So the empaths can quite often fall into their prostitute as well because they're thinking they're doing a good thing by giving, but they're actually prostituting themselves by never leaving enough in the tank for themselves. In relationships and in the workplace, the prostitute, that's where it really comes out. So in the workplace, it's where you know that your colleagues bitching about another colleague makes you deeply uncomfortable, but you either participate or you don't say anything. And it might not be in a position where it's safe for you to say anything. You'll feel like you'll get bullied and different things, but people will prostitute themselves by like having a little laugh, just to join in with it when they morally know that it's wrong and they don't agree with anything that they're saying. So even though we don't see that as a form of prostituting it, you are prostituting your values and your soul. In relationships, it tends to come out when we don't start speaking our truth completely and you hold back parts of yourself. So you're actually almost kindly lying to your partner, and it builds over time, and then it gets more and more hurtful for yourself. You get resentful. You have all these issues that come in from simply not actually honoring your whole self, all of your values. You hold your truth back. So I found the prostitute really goes hand in hand with truth. So there was a man called Jim Curtin who he took Caroline Myce's 4 survival archetypes, and he talked about how there is higher archetypes that can come in above them, which is like the higher aspect. So the higher aspect of the prostitute is the lover. Now, once again, the lover doesn't necessarily literally mean, like when I do a reading for people, it's only like 10% of the time that that lover card actually represents a physical lover or partner or themselves as the actual physical lover. As dead set 90% of the time, it is self-love issues that are coming up, and you can see it with the cards around them. So if that lover, it comes through and you morph from being in the prostitute into that lover archetype when you simply love yourself enough to start saying, okay, this is in too much. I'm sick of doing this. I'm sick of watching this bully do this. I'm sick of working for a company that's morally corrupt. I'm sick of knowing that there's bad things happening and I do nothing. It's in a relationship. It's where you gave so much, you've held back so much of yourself that you love yourself enough to start being honest, and it can be quite radical for your partner because they don't know that you've been holding back parts of yourself. It can be in abusive situations when you, or if you've got a narcissist and it's emotionally and mentally abusive. You love yourself enough to leave, and it's a lovely archetype to shift into because it's self-love, and it's an archetype of being connected. So you move more into devotion, and when you're in your lover, it's much easier to love effortlessly, like everything. You can go shopping and you can have positive thoughts and love for the people around you. Whereas if you're in your prostitute and you're giving away and you're really unhappy about it, if you go out shopping, then you're not going to be in the vibration where you're just effortlessly at ease with whatever happens. So I really find that lover, when you can get into that energy and that's the gift of what I believe wholeness is, and journeying so that we have that self-love and we have that wholeness, because we are, once you're in that archetype, you are more giving and loving and to everybody around you. You're nicer to your kids, you're nicer to your family members, you're nicer to friends, you wave to the neighbor, you're in a higher vibration. And I truly believe that we all need to really start stepping up into that and loving ourselves more, because it is such a gift to everybody. And it's really hard for women and men, but in family situations, there's a program where the mother must give everything to the child. Must she does everything. She's got multiple hats. She gives, and then she's exhausted and she's got nothing, and she ends up being bitter. So I really, I've just got to make sure that's on silent. So I really want people who witness that, or they might be doing it themselves, to actually just take a step back and go, well, what do I want to teach my children? Do I want to teach them that everybody is equal and of value, or do I want to teach them that the female has to completely shortchange herself a lot? And like I mean that in, like, say this is something my mum used to do. Say she made dinner and she would burn, say, the veggies, and she'd burn just a couple of them. There's us 5 kids and a husband, and we would all get perfect meals, and she would have the charred gross bits. Whereas if she'd have just separated out, though, that all 7 meals had a tiny little bit of charred stuff, it's all equal. But it's this program that mothers have to, you know, just suffer, or they need to make themselves come last. Everyone else comes first. Well, the nasty word of that is prostitution. So you are prostituting yourself by giving too much to other people, when if you asked the other people in your family, they would be horrified to know that you think this way. So if you have friends or you do this yourself, I really want you all to start thinking about stepping up into that lover, because you effortlessly start radiating out, happiness to other people, and it makes the world a better place. And if people truly love you, they don't want you to be a people pleaser. They don't want you to constantly be giving, 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 and you get nothing in return. It's a time for that to really recede in our society, because it's an old and very useless program, which is shame based. So I hope that resonates. And if you have any situations where you've done similar, or you know how you're prostituting yourself and you would like to share it, then please do. And if you've done those similar things as a mother, or seen your mother do it themselves, I really want you to think about that and what we're teaching our children, and please share it, because I think it's through conversations like this where we realize all the things that we do to each other on a social level, which if we actually talked about it, we'd go, that's not the right way. It's by not talking that we allow it to just keep perpetuating generation after generation. So, who would like a reading? I hope that all resonated and it made sense. I've got Rauda, DJ, hello. Angie, hello. Rosemary, it's your first time here. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me just get my cards. I'm just going to take a little sip. Okay, Amanda Stevens, good morning. Oh, it's nighttime here. Where are you from, Amanda? Samantha, you would love a reading. Let's see what cards we've got for you, Samantha. Samantha Love. I can always say Samantha, my love. It's a lovely last name. I've been calling everyone Blossoms lately. And then I was laying in bed the other night and I went, well, we all are all flowers in God's garden. It was really quite cliche, but it was a cute thought. Samantha, we have got the underworld. That is going deep into your psyche. So let me just scroll up. So Samantha, let's see what else. We've got a bridge. Oops, turn the cards around. What else have we got them about? So Samantha, these are deeply questioning cards. The underworld, let me just scroll down. So the underworld is where you join into your psyche and there's something that you're really unhappy about. It's a personality trait, or you're no longer fulfilled in your work, or you're studying the wrong thing. Like, you're asking a lot of questions based around like, what is my purpose, or it's like it's big life questioning kind of stuff is the feeling I'm getting. The bridge, it goes right beside it, and that's where I feel like I've got to go somewhere. There's something that I've got to obtain. There's something that I need. And then you've got the empty room, which is another deeply questioning card. So it's being in that void space where you don't try and, so say you've got an empty room, some people try and fill that room with things so that they can avoid the hard questions. But these readings and these cards are asking you actually to face those hard questions. So if you've been thinking about really making some big life changes, especially around your work or moving, like big life changes, then it's asking you to go into that void space and face your fears so that you actually have the courage to face what's holding you back from making those changes. That bridge card in the middle is the key. It's asking you to go from one thing to another and having that courage to do it. So I really feel like if you've been having a moment where you wanting to do something, study something, move, um, open a business, change your workplace because you're unhappy with it, then you need to go in and ask yourself, okay, well, why am I afraid to make these decisions and face what that fear is? Because the underworld is where you journey into your psyche and you face your fears and you have those self realizations. That bridge, I really want to travel. I want to get to the other side of things. And that void space is don't distract yourself with things, like it's now that you need to do it. So that's really, interesting. Did you you want to move? So I think you need to really look and address your fears of why you haven't moved. Are they purely just money? Is there, I'll get down with a pen and a piece of paper and just address your fears. What are they? Write them all out and look at them and then say, well, can I address these and fix these fears so that they're no longer fears? And ask yourself, what is holding me back? What is holding me back? It's the answer's like in your psyche. It's within you. Okay. So what have I got? Who else have I got? So Amanda, you've posted a few times and you'd love a general guidance. You're feeling a bit fed up as you've been isolating for over a month, recovering from coronavirus. Well, God bless you. I'm an Aries, so I actually got fed up and I said I wanted the coronavirus so I could get over and done with. I know that sounds a bit radical, but it's just my personality type. So it looks like the universe has made you lay there and stop you in your tracks. So what has this been all meaning for you? Why has this happened? What do you need to know? The eternal child. That's all about joy. Have you been ignoring your joy? Have you been ignoring your child? Let's see what else. Ooh, the offering. The offering is also you offer something and you must sacrifice something. What else? There's something else. Okay. The eternal child is that childlike inner joy. We sacrifice our joy all the time. It's just like that prostitute that I was telling you about. This card, this archetype, the eternal child, is probably one of the worst that gets prostituted. So this card's asking you, have you been ignoring something that you've wanted to be doing because society tells you it's safer not to, or you haven't been in a financial position? Like what brings you soul joy? That's the biggest question of this card, and why aren't you doing it? Even if you have to work in a job to provide the money and all those things, you can still do it as a hobby. You can still do it as such and such. So it's asking you to address how do you bring more joy into your life, and why haven't you been doing more about it? There's something there. The offering is, now it goes straight in with the castle card. So the castle card is quite often people are driven to build their castle, their foundations. They've got really solid things. So they're driven to be financially stable, to be in a stable relationship, and to build their castle so that they can feel safe within it. But then there comes a time when you can almost be too safe in your castle and you're afraid to come out of it. And sometimes it can be because of materialistic comforts. So the offering, that is the card that says, okay, if I'm going to pursue something for joy and I'm going to bring joy back into my life, I'm going to have to sacrifice something, which might mean, okay, you're going to have to put your joy and your self-love and your wholeness before monetary gain or before your comfort. The castle can also be like social phobias or things like you're not being comfortable to get into groups or to put yourself out there. But then on the dualistic side of things, you get such comfort from being with people. So if you feel like you want to connect with people or do a certain hobby, take photography classes, study something, have a whole different career, then you're going to have to sacrifice your comforts of sitting, comfortably in your castle where you don't have to do anything if you've really worked on getting that castle there and you've got that safety net. But that eternal child is asking you, okay, it's time to bring a bit of joy into my life. I need that carefreeness. I need to be able to look at the world and be more optimistic. So, does that resonate? Like, do you have something where you're like, I want to do something more creative. I want to do a hobby. I want to change my career. Like, I'm really curious. And do you have enough joy in your life, or do you need more? Are you craving that connection? Okay. Yes, it's my financial position, though I have been doing it on a smaller scale. So Amanda, with that anxiety, do like wake up every morning and make a commitment to do one thing that brings you joy. I don't care if it's sitting in the garden. I don't care if it's going out and doing something or other, or calling somebody or other, or having a bath with petals in there, putting a face mask on, going for a massage. You must every day commit something to bringing you joy, and that's going to really help flip that frequency within you, and it'll build. But you must honor the internal child. It's really solidly in your field at the moment, and that internal child can really help you shift everything, because as you bring that joy in, you shift into being more optimistic. And when you're more optimistic, when your life hits you with some things you're like, oh, well, that just happened. I'm gonna be able to go on it. It's such a powerful archetype, and it's not honored for it. Our society has a really terrible problem with watching people be optimistic and childlike and different things. We just want to crush it. I have a friend who's in her 50s, and she's just got this childlike, naive, beautiful personality, and she's constantly being crushed by society. And I'm just like, don't people understand the gift that she gives to the planet? So I really want you to work on honoring that archetype every morning. What is joy? How do I feed my eternal child? Because it's going to be the shifter for you. It's super powerful. Okay. Now, who else have I got? Kerry Addison. I feel drawn to you, Kerry. What are you up to? Oh, the nectar. That's one of my favorite cards. Okay, so Kerry, these are some interesting cards. You've got the Nectar card, which is really about being drawn to be of service and just filled with um, the nectar of the gods. It's where you wake up and you feel really just like you're living your purpose. Everything's fantastic in the world. I really feel like you're really wanting this. It's a connection card. It's feeling wonderfully complete with you. You wake up and you're just filled with love and joy. It's the nectar of the gods. You have a card which is the chaos. It's the storm. Um, it's sudden change. It's like a storm in a teacup kind of energy. It's like something's about to come, something's about to happen. And then you also have that underworld card, which is going into your psyche. So this makes me want to ask the question to you, like if you're craving having um, that fulfilled, I'm in my purpose kind of energy, um, and you've got the sudden change in the underworld, you need to ask, am I holding myself back in some way? Is there something that you know that you're doing which is going to hold you back from getting that complete nectar of the gods? Everything in my life is perfect. Everything is on its path. It's wonderful. Like I love the energy of that. When I have the nectar come in for myself, I'm like beaming, just such soul joy. So, do you crave that feeling? And if so, what is going on? It could also be a bit of a warning that something or other is about to try and wobble you out of this emotion if you're already in it. So, um, that doesn't feel quite right though. It's more like this is what you're really wanting in your life. You need less of this, but you've got to ask yourself what's going on. I'm kind of curious. Let me know. Tracy Dunstan, you're from Rockhampton in Queensland, a fellow Queenslander, and you would love a reading. What have we got through for Tracy? Oh, you've repeated the question a few times. Must have very much wanted a reading. Okay. Tracy. The vessel is a cup of receiving. It's about the body. What have we got with the vessel? The warrior. Forest. It's a very highly creative reading. So Tracy, you've got the vessel, which is it's being the cup, it's being the vessel for creative energy coming through. It can be you're willing to be a healer and you're going to step up and do that. It's I'm willing to create. I'm willing to um, be the conduit for the divine. So when I'm standing here and I'm doing readings for people, I'm being a vessel. I'm allowing spirit to come in and I'm interpreting the field cards that are in your field. You take yourself out of the equation. I'm not special. I'm just being open. So this is kind of that card where you're just opening yourself up to allow it to come through. So it can be something highly creative, or it could be psychic or healing arts, energy work, Reiki, those kinds of things. I kind of feel like it's both. So if you're being drawn to create things or you are an artist, you've got that warrior card, which is telling me that you'll have it. You need to call upon your strength to keep pursuing whatever's coming through. If you get messages and you get this deep feeling in your body, like I must do this, I must create this, I must study this, then you really have to honor it, and you get that knowing feeling because the worry comes in and it's really strong. So you like feel it in your body. It's so important. The Forest card comes through, and this is another highly creative card, but it can get confusing. It's like the universe gives you so many options. There's so many trees in the forest that you're like, oh, where do I start? And it's overwhelming. It's like you've got so many different ideas and you don't know where to start. The key to it is starting with one tree, one idea, complete it, work on it. Then the next tree. Within 6 months, you've got a grove. Within a year or two, you've got an entire forest. But you have to start somewhere. So don't let yourself be sabotaged by being confused with too many possibilities. There's too many things to do. Where do I start? Where do I start? You just simply pick one thing, one tree, and start. Have that courage of the warrior. It's a wonderful card. See the rainbow between the horns? It's another bridging card as well, which works with that vessel. So allow that creativity, that healing, whatever's coming through for you that you are being called to do. You've got to do it because it's a calling. It's not just a desire. It's not just as a hobby or there's a thought of doing that. No, this is a calling. So step into that warrior and do that. Do you have an idea of what I'm talking about? Do you know what it is that you're to be the vessel for so that you birth it into the world? Very curious. Amanda Stevens again. I want to rescue cats. Oh, that sounds beautiful. It's lovely. So, oh, there's been tons of questions. I've got I've got a troll. I haven't had a troll in weeks. Let's send them some love. Baba, I hope you're not doing all this because you need to feed your family. Okay, so it's not allowing me to simply block them. Let me just try. You do Reiki, Tracy. That's fantastic. Cancel. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to ignore the trolls because I can't block them. It's not allowing me to. I'll try one more. Inbox me for a reading or a love spell. God bless you. It's kind of like when they ask you if you would like to win $1 million and just give your bank account details. You've won the Zimbabwe lottery. Do they actually think anyone will? So I can't block them. I apologise, and we'll just have to move on. So Rosemary with lots of hearts. Well, I love you too, Rosemary. What have we got for Rosemary? What is in her field? What archetypes does she need to hear? The medallion. This card doesn't come through very often. It's an archetype where you're striving for something, like almost striving for a trophy, or it can sometimes be like an actual amulet. The fault line. Ooh. Yes, Belinda, I can't get rid of the trolls. Okay, so you, Rosemary, you've got the medallion, which is when you're striving for something, like you want to obtain a trophy. There's something you've been really working for, desiring. Then you've got the fault line and the desert, which is like on shaky ground and like I'm never going to be able to achieve it. Belinda, trolls are either real people or bots who go in and they make comments like inbox me for your spiritual problems. So they just call them trolls because you don't even know if they're a real person or a bot. So Rosemary, back to you. Sorry for the distraction. So what are you striving for, if you don't mind me asking? Because these cards is like you've been striving for it for a very, very long time. I'm just going to see if I can get a fourth one. So that's the Siren. It's another deep yearning card. Have you been working a long time on your self confidence and self image, or have you been wanting a relationship for a long time? It's another card you're calling in. They're all striving cards. I've never had this in a live reading in my life. What are you wanting, Rosemary? Well, this is hysterical, Rosemary, because I've drawn you 6 cards trying to get further information, and it's just gone to a spiritual card. So, is it about your spiritual self? Have you been striving a lot to for spiritual practice, your connection, or a gift or a talent? You've got the fault line. I feel like you're on shaky ground. You know, you're walking out on the ice. You've got the desert. You've been wandering the desert. You know, where's the next sip of water going to be? You've got the siren. The siren is you're calling something to you. You know, it's compulsive energy. It's highly compulsive energy. You've got the hunter. You are literally the horse seeking all that light. See, all streaming. You're seeking, seeking, seeking. And then I'm like, what is these? Like every single one of these cards is like, I'm in the pursuit of something, whatever this medallion means to you. And then this card at the end is highly spiritual. It's a it's a card that's an initiation card. It's an inner knowing. It's a connection to all things. So have you been on a spiritual path or seeking spiritual knowledge? Have you been learning about spiritual things for a long time? Because usually when those initiation cards come in, they are about that. If not, whatever you've been seeking in your life, it feels like it's been for a very long time. If you let me know, I'll draw a card if it is. But I've drawn 6 cards and it's not giving me a clear kind of whatever it is. It's photography, finding myself being centered also spiritually. When you go and do your photography, why don't you say like a little invocation before you do, like a prayer, and just like, how can I be of service? How can I bring beauty into the world today? Show me through the lens of the camera what you want me to see. They're really amazing cards. It's like searching for something, and then you've got that spiritual one right at the end, and I'm like, wow. So um I, you know, allow your spiritual self to grow even further, because I think there's skills and gifts there that could be coming forth, and you could be helping people with whatever that is about to come forth. Very excited for you. Let us know in the future if you discover what your medallion is you're searching for, and if your spiritual life enriches and gets more profound. It's very interesting. Yes, for about 2 years. Okay. Rebecca Martin needs some guidance in my love. Um, any answers you can give me? So archetypes, they can sometimes be the things that are holding us back, like what's active in our field. So when I ask about love, sometimes I get the answer, and sometimes there's just other things active in your field at the moment that's more predominant. Or it could be like self-worth or self-confidence or any other thing that could be coming through, which is more important, or what is the issue of the relationship. So I'm going to ask, um, Rebecca Martin. Ooh, we've got the healer. That usually comes through when you need healing, self-healing, like things have happened which has made you a little bit less trustful. And it doesn't necessarily have to be to you. I'm actually had to work a lot on being trustful with relationships, because 95% of the females that are my friends, and even some of the males, are all like deeply unhappy and had like horrific relationships and all other kinds of stuff. There was only 5% of them which were solid, loving relationships. So I had trust issues, not anything done to me, just by society in general. So that healer is usually comes through when you have to do a bit of healing on yourself. What else have I got for you, honey? The mask. Okay, so your cards are that healer. Um, you've got some vulnerabilities which you need to heal, but also be more open about. You've got the mask. I think that's twofold, this card. It's saying I'm scared of revealing myself and taking my mask off and showing my true self to people and potential partners. And it's also a fear of you getting somebody who's false. So you're going to have to, any future relationships or any relationships you're in now, you have to base it around truth. You got that fault line card as well, which when I was saying to myself, this revealing the mask and revealing your truth, the fault line came through. So I think you're actually quite scared of showing your truths and your who you are, because you're worried about being judged, or are those parts inside of you which you want to share with people? Do you fear that they're going to be unlovable? So if this is like it, for any relationship in the future, and any of your relationships, not just potential partners, it's your family, it's your friends, it's your colleagues, it's asking you to be more truthful, and reveal yourself in a more honest way. And it's going to take so much courage to do it, but you're going to feel amazing and you're going to heal yourself by doing that. And if the people that you call into your life can't handle that, then they're not worth you. They're not worthy of you, your time, your effort, everything. So it's like a journey of wholeness. I was really watching this thing earlier about wholeness, and it's, if you love your whole self and you bring that to the table and say, this is me, and they accept that, then they're worthy of you. If they judge that, or if it's not enough, or they're wanting to change you, or you've got fears, you need to just tell them, express your truth, express your fears. It's incredibly vulnerable, but you need to make your relationship about truth and tell your stories, and it'll satisfy you on a much bigger level, and that you'll get to a really you get the relationship you deserve, not even the relationship you want. If you base it on truth, You'll get the one that you deserve. Who else have I got? Oh, how am I doing with time? Still got a few. Debbie, feeling rather lost at the moment on a few fronts and would love a reading. All right, Debbie. Just take a little sip, won't be a sec. Debbie is feeling lost. The Queen. Lessons of stepping into your sovereignty. The Unseen. Trusting your intuition. These are wonderful cards. You might be feeling lost, but the Queen is when we step into our sovereign. It's where we stop being the child. So remember I was talking about the 4 survival archetypes at the beginning. So the higher aspect of the child is the Queen. So when we have fears and when we have doubts, or when life hits us with unexpected things and we want to have a pout because it's unfair, how dare this happen, the Queen is like, gives you that breath. You take a breath and you're like, no, I can handle this and I'm not going to get involved with everyone's dramas. I'm just going to do what's right for me. It's a card of knowing yourself really well. It's an archetype where you're like, I'm going to step up. I'm going to step up at my business. I'm going to step up at my home life. I'm going to step up across the board everywhere. It's a card which is incredibly powerful because this gives you the insight to see where you're doing things and what's going on, and oh, I'm acting this way, which is causing that. That person's doing this, which is causing that. It's a higher knowing, it's seeing things from a higher perspective. It's also a time where you can step up and you can do things for others because you're the good queen who looks after their subjects, or you can be the petty tyrant. So it's asking you to choose and choose the right way because it's a lot easier. So it's also, as you're making decisions and you're seeing the bigger picture, you also be of service. The people I've been having for my clients and everything, when you step into being of service, things flow a lot easier across the board and it becomes effortless. You've got that unseen card. So the unseen is your intuition. It's just knowing things in your guts. The Queen's telling you this is what's going on, and the unseen's telling you, yep, that's true. Knowing it. It can be having actual mystical experiences. It can be having more dreams. So you could see things, you could see energy, feel energy, those kinds of things. So it can be a card of knowing, clairsentient with your intuition. Can also be, I see a ghost, or I'm astral projecting, or I'm lucid dreaming. So it's the unseen realm as well. So the third card is the animal, and this is being really comfortable in your skin. So Debbie, the animal's asking you to step into this who you are. These are your personality traits. This is your skills. This is your abilities. This is everything that you've got to offer, and you take ownership of it, and you feel comfortable. You stop looking for validation and a pat on the back from other people. Instead, you pat yourself on the back because you're awesome. So it's really becoming comfortable in who you are. I feel like that card's really important. You need to just love, accept, honor, and stand there and go, this is me, this is what I'm doing, and really accepting it, and stop seeking acknowledgement for other people. You need to step into your own queen and do it your way. Lovely reading. Okay, Belinda, your phone died, did it? I had that issue earlier. How am I doing for time? Still got time for a few more. So, Belinda, here's the cards. What does Belinda need to hear? The warrior. The starborn. Debbie, you've got this. That queen means that you've got the ability that no matter what life throws at you, you step up. You do it in the home place, you do it in the workplace, you do it in the middle of coals. I'm in my queen. I see what everyone's doing. I'm seeing what I'm doing. I'm seeing what my vibrations are causing. I'm seeing what my thought patterns are causing. You take ownership of everything. You take ownership of, being in your skin and being amazing. You do have the power to create the reality of what you're wanting. You've just got to take those steps and start doing it, and do it day by day, bit by bit. You don't wave your wand and suddenly stand there and go, I'm a queen. No, you show to the world and to yourself you're a queen by your daily actions, bit by bit. You get there. Linda. Okay. I'm actually going to do a fourth card for you, Belinda. Okay. You've got some cards that are interesting. You've got the warrior, which is that energy of having the courage and the drive to pursue whatever you're wanting in life, whether it's I want to go and get this job, or I want to learn to be this type of healer, I want to become a psychic medium, I want to do any of those different things. It's a powerful driving force. It's when you step out of the victim and you move into the warrior. So this card is going to be driving this one. So I absolutely adore this card. It's called the Starborn. The Starborn is you have a unique skill set, which is yours. When you were born and you were taken from the womb, at that precise moment, the stars are uniquely aligned to you. There is nobody on the planet that is just like you. She's feeling really emotional. And it's like you need to accept that you have got unique skills and talents. You don't need to doubt that. That warrior energy is like if you've got something that's coming forth and you're going, I need to create this, I need to do this, I need to build this business, I need to start healing, I need to do anything, then that warrior card is really asking you to do it. The king came forward too, and I really feel like it's asking you to honor the masculine side of yourself. I feel like your feminine side, which is your intuition and your creative sides, you honor that part. But the masculine side, the king, is where you take action. It's where you do things to be of service for other people. A good king helps his subjects. I see this as the card, the divine masculine. It comes up in the readings as well. So it's both the warrior and the king is like, take action, be strong, pursue your dreams, pursue everything. You got the judge came through. I felt like drawing a fourth card for you. And I really feel like there's things that you want to do and you're going to worry what your family and friends are going to think about it, or what society going to think about it, or do you feel judged in general because you're a bit of a black sheep or a bit different. This Starborn card is really coming forth, and it is saying, hey, I'm a unique, awesome chick, and I've got these things that I want to do. I've only, I'm in this lifetime. I'm born, I'm alive now, and I've got however many years on earth in order to do them, and it's time to start doing them. It's a real calling. It's like quite a powerful energy. So, do you know what you're wanting to do? Have you, got an idea? Now, let's see. Katie Taylor Reid. Last one, I think. We've got 5 more minutes. So in the description for tonight, I've put a link for my full readings. So I do 15 cards in a reading. It goes for an hour via Zoom. And you have 3 archetypes from your past, 3 archetypes that's currently in your present field, and then I do 9 cards for in the future. And I read them vertically, and then you start going sideways. It's a bit of an odd way to do a reading, but it makes sense. Like, trust me, by the end of it, it's like working a puzzle out with the client, and it's quite awesome. So I've got them running on a special for $50, and the link is in the comments and the description section. All right, Katie Taylor Reid, would love guidance for my new start. What archetypes does Katie need to know for her new start? Initiation, the card of knowing. It's the card of feeling, trusting your intuition. The sword, quick and decisive action. The mystic. Well, Katie, you have highly, highly spiritual cards. The Gnosis card is initiation. When this card comes through, it is on multiple levels. So when we're initiated, it's usually spiritual, yes, but it's also, it plays out in our life in multiple areas. This is really asking you to trust your intuition, to build that bridge and that connection to your higher self and to spirit, and just trust what's coming through. It might sound a little bit, oh, I don't know if I can do that, or should I do that, and you're doubting. You can always ask for further signs. I've done a deal with spirit, and if it's something that's not too scary, I can do that. Yep, then I just do it. If my intuition's telling me to do something that just seems really scary or a little bit unusual, I say, well, you need to give me some more signs so that I know that this is coming from my higher self. You build that knowing, that complete trust. The sword card, that is decisive action. So if you're getting told to do something, you need to do it, and you need to take action upon it. When you're in initiation, it's very much about trust. It's about, this is why I'm in initiation, and this is what I'm learning and what I'm needing to know. Even if you're not a spiritual person, these archetypes, you know, even if you're not like doing a even if you're not in the psychic or healing arts, although I really feel that if you're not, you should be. These archetypes will still be in play. You must trust your intuition. Then you need to take that decisive action. You've got the mystic. The mystic makes me tremble sometimes. It's a full-on archetype. It's a call to action. The planet needs mystics because they never give up seeking the truth and seeking knowledge, and it's a calling to continue to learn esoterical knowledge and esoterical things. It's the pursuit of truth. It's a seeker. It's a light worker. Whenever I get that card, I always just go, you know, and one of my it was either last week or the week before, I talked about the mystic and the shaman archetypes and how we all think that, not we all, but some people can think they're light-hearted archetypes, but they can be quite petrifying. So, you know, completely and utterly trust yourself. Whatever's coming through spiritually for you is really interesting at the moment. And Katie, I'm just so excited for you. You know, like I have that little bit of I like a scary initiation sometimes, not too scary, but yeah, I'm really excited for you. Belinda, wow. Okay, Katie, you are here in a clairvoyant. Well, I think things are going to, that mystic doesn't come through easy for just everyone. You know what I mean? Whenever it comes through, it's really asking you to just step up and be of more service. So, and so is that initiation card. So I'm kind of excited for you. I know that sounds really strange because I'm giving you, like, you know, these are interesting things coming through, but it'll be like you'll get it's like you'll get more, the gift will get stronger, or you'll be guided to do something rather than a whole new like realm of things open up for you. So I'm like, really, I'm so excited for you. I just dropped the crone card, which is it's like the bridge good as well. So the crone's very much like the shaman. So I'm really excited for you. Like I think you're just going into a whole new level of spiritual activation and self. So guys, Katie, you need to take action on them. You know, when you're in initiation and when you also have that mystic come in, then they're not easy cards. You can get your ass kicked if you don't do it. You know what I mean? And I get this excited feeling when I'm trying to tune in. That's like you're actually really excited to do it, but there's some stuff that's like fears or don't even feel like fears. It doesn't even really feel like yours. Do you have programs from your parents or social programs that are running which are kind of holding you back a little bit? It doesn't feel like yours. You actually, if I try and tune in, it's like such an excited feeling. You really need to trust your intuition and go for this, because your life could just, you know, into such an amazing new future, but you've just got to do it and really trust it. And yeah, I'm getting the word side hustle. If you're treating your abilities and as a side hustle, then it's time to reverse it. And it doesn't mean you have to give up your job and move into pure clairvoyance straight away. But when you introduce yourself to people, they're like, hey, what do? You say, oh, I'm a clairvoyant and a such and such. So you flip your wording of things as you step into it as well. And that'll be a really powerful start, because you need to start owning fully that it's just such an excited feeling. So I'm excited for you. Now, Kat Rogers, I am running out of time. Draw one quick card for you, and then I must go. My page is Inner Alchemist. If you type in inneralchemist.org, and that's what you search for in Facebook, that's what you find it. Programs from parents. It's time for you to leave your parents' programs where they are and step into them. I really feel like by doing that, you're going to show up people and help enable them. And you'll be a way shower. All mystics and people who are in the spiritual things show other people to have the courage to live the life that people are wanting, and they help people. You're being called to service in an even bigger way, and you can't really ignore that, because it's bigger than your parents' program. It's bigger than anything. It's spirit. It's your higher self. So put them at the center of everything. Put spirit and creator and your higher self and your soul at the center of everything you do, and don't worry about what other people think. And see where your life blossoms. Cat, the prayer. So it's asking you to pray, to ask for guidance, to ask for insights, to, whatever you're wanting. I think we did a reading for you last week. I can't quite remember. And continue to pray. Put it out there. Ask for it. Keep asking. Pray, pray, pray. I do very different prayers. I make up my own prayers from what is normal. And you need to just keep asking your guides and the universe for what you're wanting, for the change that you're needing, for the help for yourself as well. I love the card, the prayer. That word cops a little bit of issues because of religion these days, but prayer is just one of the most powerful tools that anyone can have. All right, Katie and everyone, much love.